Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope everybody's having a really good week so far. I coming here bringing a little bit of a short vlog to you guys today regarding, of course, some finds, similarities, so to speak, on Mars. And I actually will not be. It's not going to be long, but I just want to get this documented mainly. All right, so yesterday or day before, I know that I did a video in which we talked well, I think I posted some photos too on the community wall where you can actually see some sort of geometric something, okay, hanging off the side of the Perseverance rover, right? And it's not the first time I've actually talked about that. I kind of refer to it as like Mars ivy or rock ivy because it's on every single one of the rovers. If you have ever wondered when you were looking at a selfie of the rovers why there was weird geometric mess, okay, or Photoshop jobs, it's because you're not crazy. There is. Um, and so keep that in mind. But listen, before I even dig into that, okay, I want to show you this. This is another find, another similarity to different photos I'm going to be showing you here, but it's got that look. All right, I want you to look at the left of your screen right here. You'll see like a red circle, okay? I can't make that photo bigger at the moment. Actually, can I snip that? Hold on, hold that thought. Let me try to snip it. Let me try to snip that. Maybe that'll kind of do it like this here. All right, I'm going to take the banner down here and we're going to elaborate on this here a little bit. I can actually even zoom in here too. Okay, sweet. All right. So you're looking at that banner on the screen, right? Let's take that off. And okay, so boom. This is another similarity that I have found while looking at, a lot of these gigapans and photos and all that fun stuff, right? And it's not just these two photos, it's just a similarity that I have found in a lot of photos actually. But these two are like the best best ones I've got right now. On the left, okay, you have a photo there that was taken of after the landing of the Perseverance rover on Mars, right? Um, After that landing took place, there was some photos taken, right? And we got back one, okay, and this is on the photo. It almost looks like some weird little monkey figure, right? No torso, which is one of the things I've noticed. There seems to be head, then legs. There doesn't seem to be any torso. And like I said, in a lot of the cases that I've noticed this, the legs, okay, is like a duplication almost. It almost looks like another head. It's like these things, they duplicate, connect, grow, duplicate. There's always two heads when when you look at these things. You'll sometimes even see a head on top of a head on top of a head. It's very strange. Okay, I don't have any explanation for that, but dear NASA, I think the world can handle it. Now, you've got this on the left, right? This was captured from the landing or after the landing of that Perseverance rover. And then here on the right, we are looking at, I believe this is Curiosity, right? I believe this is, I can tell you this is one of Art Alien, okay? Art Alien TV. This is MSL Sol 1450 MR, okay? Raw A. And specifically, if you actually look here, and even if you look over here, if you look at this, all right, it's almost like a smush head. All right. You could see two little eye sockets, but the head is smushed and it's attached to another piece here. And then it just looks like almost looks like a rock there. But if you look at the look, okay, of the head, right, the smushed head, it really looks very similar to the little thing on the left, doesn't it? Which looks like a little monkey or something walking across the on some of that landing, that shield that was connected. It's like walking across it. It is very strange, but another similarity nonetheless. There's like a look, right? I call it a look. Yeah, it's pretty damn interesting. And as I've, looked around on even more and more and more of these gigapants and more of these photos, I see this a lot. And interestingly enough, I mean, it does look like a smushed head, right? With two eye sockets, two eyes. Interestingly, one eye seems a little bigger than the other, which is something that I've noticed in previous finds. And if you get to looking at these images as they keep coming out, just want you to pay attention to this. Keep this noted in the back of your mind, just in case. So again, on the left, this was a photo taken of the heat shield after the Perseverance rover landed. I think it was several days, right? Several days after the Perseverance had landed. I think Perseverance sat in that location for quite a while before it actually started making its move. But it really looks like there's some sort of something walking across that heat shield with that smushed head, almost flat. And then, of course, again on the right, I think this is Curiosity, a completely different rover, completely different location, and we see it looks almost identical. That look, so to speak, right? So, I wanted to note that. I also wanted to take the time here. Give me a sec. I wanted to hit my community wall. Hopefully, you guys were able to take a look at that. There is something I posted on the community wall, right? Yesterday, I believe. And this is another find from the Perseverance rover specifically. However, if you actually go back and take the time to go back and look at pretty much, if you look at any of those rovers, okay, you will find a geometric growth. It's either growing on the side of the rovers or it's hanging on the side of these rovers. Okay. And that's the best description I could give you. But luckily enough, I found another gigapan showing an even better close-up of our little blockhead friend here. And it looks like a blockhead on very skinny stick legs is really what it looks like. And not only Is it hanging off the side of the rover? It's hanging off this, even off the side, up under that mast cam up there too. This is a shot that I took, or a screenshot. There's actually like 3 areas on the side of that Perseverance rover. Here's another area. As you can see, it's like it's growing off the side of the rover, I guess is the best description I could give it, or not necessarily hanging, but definitely on the side of the rover. But again, uh, stick like whatever, okay, if you wanted to call it legs or whatever. And again, look at that, the top there. It's almost similar, right? In a way, with the smushed head, the way it's thin like that. But I digress. I found another gigapan, which is really amazing. So I wanted to actually bring that up for you guys. It's pretty damn amazing. Hold on. And this was on, I think this was 003, right? I thought. I'm just talking out loud. So that was, yeah. Oh, nope. Solar Day 0046. Okay. Let me get that. This is under 360 cities. I have some really nice gigapins there. And this was under that thought. Amazingly enough, if you, and I'm just going to show you a very, very quick example of the photoshopping that I'm talking about that NASA does, right? Again, if you've ever looked at some of these gigapans in photos and noticed that it looked kind of strange, or you have cords that go nowhere. Okay. There's all sort of stuff that goes nowhere, casing, pipes, and all kinds of stuff that just goes absolutely nowhere. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. That's because it doesn't. NASA has been photoshopping, hiding. Okay. There's more to the selfies. It's not just about NASA getting photos to look at the health of the rovers. They're actually monitoring what I think is some sort of geometric growth on these rovers. If you go to my Behance site, we also published a photo of a little guy that was sitting here. Okay. But just as an example, okay, of the Photoshop jobs that's taking place, I can actually show you a pretty good example here. This is a pretty sloppy job by NASA, JPL. And if you just take a look here, you'll notice that there is a clear Photoshop job going on here, right? NASA has chose to blur an area here. Very obviously, okay, it's very obvious, okay? And the reason why is because there is, again, like I'm saying, this growth, it hangs off the side of these rovers. That's why I call it like Mars ivy or rock ivy, because it really reminds me of how ivy, it grows anywhere, everywhere, with little to no help. Now, here's another example in this same photo of the Photoshop jobs that NASA's doing. Again, these are not, if you look at that, I mean, you see that, right? It's missing. Okay. That's because NASA, this here is actually some more of that geometric growth that I've been telling you about. And NASA is blurring and cutting and doing really, really horrible Photoshop jobs. And isn't it interesting how we can get clear up definition or detail of these so-called chords, but This is blurred out. Yeah. Now, let me show you. Give me a second. And I mean, this growth is everywhere, guys. And I do mean everywhere. It's all over the Rovers. It's pretty amazing, actually, how you'll look at something and it's not, I'm telling you, like this area right here where you see my mouse sort of circling around it is full of this rock ivy, so to speak, or whatever this stuff is. Okay. I know it doesn't look that way, but I can assure you that it is. And NASA and JPL is using, okay, square shaped objects, circular, rectangular shaped objects. All you got to do is just get one of the first photos from the Percy, all right, and compare it to one that's coming out now. I can guarantee you'll see more bolts than there should be. Okay. Um, it's pretty amazing. Um, but again, very sloppy. The Photoshop jobs are very, very sloppy. And this is a prime example of that. You can clearly see NASA has taken out and chopped and screwed, okay, this photo. It's very obvious. All right. Now, let me show you really quickly another one. We're going to go to a different GigaPan. So stand by just 1 second for me. And let me pull it up here. There's another example of the geometric growth I was telling you about right here. You see 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And isn't it interesting how NASA, we can see the detail down to little pieces of sand here. I can see the shadow here. And one thing I've been picking up is especially like in this particular geometric growth, one of the there's 2 eye socket areas, okay? And it's like there's only one eyeball in one side of the socket area. So what I've noticed is that you can actually see through that other area or that other eye area. And you'll notice that even in the shadow, you see that? But you can also see here that this area looks very strange. All right, because it is strange, right? You can clearly see the blurring that NASA's doing to the photo. And again, this geometric growth, as I call it, or this rock ivy, this Mars ivy, this whatever the hell you want to call it, okay? Like I said, it grows everywhere. It's all over this rover. And it's all over every single rover. I've discovered it on every rover so far that has been sent to Mars. Okay, so we've got, you see that right there, right? Our geometric growth here. It's got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes at the top. All right. Let's peep game, peep game. Let me take you back. Actually, let me do it this way. I want to do it this way. There's a link. Perfect. Now stand by a sec for me. I'm going to show you even more crazy stuff here. Pretty amazing though. Let me just open these in a new tab here. And that's the one I want right here. 046. It's right here. All right. Okay, so here is another, okay, GigaPan. And guess what? We've got a close-up of that geometric growth, okay? So in this particular photo, all right, NASA, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, we got us a nice little close-up of this whatever geometric growth, whatever you want to call it, but in a different spot of the rover, a different physical area of the rover. There is a piece over here for sure. Okay, let me show you. There's a piece over here. All right, as you can see. Okay, so I that's the one I actually took the screenshot of that I posted on my wall yesterday. But you can see it's hanging off the side of the rover. It's got like 4 holes at the top. Very interesting in this, image, this was sold 046, I believe. Yeah. You see something kind of hanging out one of those holes right there. I don't know what that is. But the other very interesting thing I found in this particular image was this. Almost looked like, blue eyes or something. You can clearly see that geometric growth I'm referring to being covered up by NASA. You can see one eye sticking out. It's like the eyeball sticks out almost like a lens, and it's being covered by this bar or whatever NASA wants to call it. Okay, so you can see it hanging right there. And let me show you another area here where you'll be able to find this growth. It's on the side of this of the the mast cam area. If you just look here, okay, you'll see it sticking out the side here. So we've got some growing over here, and you can see it looks pretty much exactly like what we were just looking at. It's got 4 little holes at the top, it looks like. And it's look how it's geometrically exact. Right. We've got the top, the bottom. Look at those lines there. But listen, we've got one here. We got one here hanging off the rover. You can see NASA trying to do Photoshop jobs. And then we've got another piece hanging off the rover over here. It almost looks like there's another little like lizard head on top of this one, which is very interesting because in our other photo where we found this, right? Originally, that little lizard head was not there. You can see something a little smaller there, but not as big as that. You can clearly see the difference, right? But you know what else you can see? More photoshopping going on here. And the reason why is because, again, the stuff grows like an ivy almost. It's kind of how I refer to it. And it's growing all on the side of these rovers, just like you see this sticking out on each side. This is everywhere, all over the rover. You may not see it. NASA's doing things like putting stuff, pasting images in front that are geometric that can cover it. Here's a fine example of that. You can see that sticking out, right? And we talked about this image the other day. And amazingly, look at that. Got a shot here. That is another. So we've got so far, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 growth spots that I've been able to find on the Perseverance rover so far. But here is an example from the front of the rover. And amazingly, we were able to get a shot of this in the sun, which was awesome. It was really awesome. You can even see that growth coming out from the bottom here. But that did not, that was not built on the rover. That amazingly showed up. But check this out. Look really close. Look really, really close at this for a second. Just relax your eyes. And do you see what I see? This is what I absolutely love about following up with some of these they're like epic fails, because if you just look at this, you can tell this is an area where there is some of this growth happening, this geometric growth. If you just look at this, and now that I've gotten so used to being able to pick it up out of these images, look at this right here where my mouse is circling. Do you see the horrible Photoshop job that NASA has done right here? They tried to do blur it in. It's like I said, it duplicates, grows, then its arm is you know how ivy the plant here on Earth is, right? How the ivy will literally wrap itself around, wrap itself around something, right? And that's exactly what this stuff is doing on the rover. It's literally wrapping itself around the rover in various different areas. Sorry. Got a horrible sinus infection, so forgive me. But yeah, you can tell there's something very interesting going on in this photo anyway, even if you seen this and just walked by it like you didn't see it, there's something very interesting going on in this area just because of the photoshopping that's going on. That's what I love about this. The more Photoshop fails that NASA does, number one, they're telling me what to look at. Okay. They're telling me the areas I should be looking at. And number two, I've been going back and looking at some of those old images and old gigapans, especially like from Spirit and Opportunity, Curiosity, the earlier stages of Curiosity. NASA, Photoshop was not what it was 5 and 10 years ago. So the things that I've been finding in those older images have been amazing. I found some of this geometric growth on I believe it was the Opportunity, or I'll double check myself. It was either Spirit or Opportunity, but it had gotten so tall and so thick that it literally fell forward. It fell forward for a period of time. But anyway, I digress. All you have to do is you can tell by looking at this that something very interesting is going on. This geometric growth, there's always two eyes. One eye is going to be different from the other. And then, another identical piece will grow to the left side of it, but yet connected. And then it duplicates. Okay. You can even tell by looking at this, a lot of this unnatural, okay, bolts on top of bolts, really, NASA. Here's another very interesting Photoshop job. These areas here. Now, you remember when we were looking at that growth over there, right? And it had the little stick-like legs or little, I'll show you this. Like almost looks like string, right? It almost looks like string. Well, NASA said, well, hell, we'll go in here and we'll just put like a black box on top here. We'll put two of them. But this is some more of that geometric growth. This is NASA's way of hiding it. This is their way of photoshopping. I mean, look at this. Look. They blacked it out. Doesn't even oh man, some of these things I've been finding have been just. And here's a really good example of what I meant when I said, two eye sockets. There seems to be an eye on one side, and then you can damn near put your finger through the other one. It looks like you can just see right through it. Remember with the shadows, or we were looking at the shadows earlier, and look, you can see right through that side. But it's almost like a vine. Look at that. All you have to do is just look really close, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just take your time. But yes, look, look at NASA. Look at this. Really, NASA? Look at this. Now, we found blatant blurring. I mean, blatant blurring. And I can guarantee you this here is covering actual growth. Again, also notice that if you actually look really close, you can actually see it. You can see the Photoshop going on, but look, you can actually see an eye here and an eye here. You can even see one right here, I suspect, because again, this geometric like growth, it like duplicates, right? But I've gotten so used to seeing the pattern of it. I can tell this is part of it, and very interestingly enough, you zoom in, you start wondering, "Well, why is this all blurry?" When I zoom in, and I can note, I can see the details of the bolts and everything else around it. It makes no sense, right? Yeah. Anyway, here's another prime example. We've got the geometric growth here, but look above it. Another blurred out area. If you just look at the side of this, you'll start noticing the same like geometric growth, right? The strings in between. It's really strange. Okay, I don't know how to describe it, but other than just look at it. Again, we've got 3 areas here. You can see area 2, and then area 3. And you can tell, I mean, look. And of course, this really looks like there's like another lizard sitting on top. But look, you can see another area that NASA tried to Photoshop out. But again, I'm just familiar with that shape. That's most definitely, it's wrapped all the way around this. It's wrapped all the way around it. You ever looked at this and wondered why this looks so strange? Because it is. It is strange. Look at this. Look at that. More growth. And you can see how it literally grows, okay, on the everything, everywhere. It's amazing. It almost looks like metal, almost a matte type of metal. It's kind of strange, but it does. It's very weird. And there's one more I want to show you here. Actually, there's some, pay close attention to this middle area right here. I'm going to show you something. Show you something that NASA did. It was like, really, NASA? For one, look. Look at NASA. Look how you can tell that this was photoshopped in. For one, the edges don't even fit, right? And the if you actually look really close, even the length of the lens, like the blurriness, right? It doesn't fit because there is growth going right across the rover. Give me a second, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. It's got to be really hard for some of y'all at NASA to do this and destroy these images like this just to hide stuff from the public. I mean, I really wish you guys would let some just leak from time to time. Okay, hold that thought. I'm gonna get this soul number here. Okay, that's not it. You can actually, if you look close here at this one, you can actually see in the corner right there. Almost looks like our friend little bullet head. Hold that thought. And I actually do have a photo of, and I've actually showed it to you guys before on this channel, of that growth, in which I believe it was from Curiosity. It's from it was one of the older sets that I managed to capture. I honestly think that the only reason I was able to capture it is because NASA didn't know what they were looking at. All right, found it. Let's see here. This is 002. There we go. Got it. Let me show y'all something. Now, this is the middle, or this is Martian Solar Day 002. Check this out, right? So we've got, right? We got our photos. We got our little comparisons, right? But check this out. You see it? Can't even zoom in anymore, but you see the vivid difference, right? We've got some of this geometric growth, as I refer to it, okay? And look at our little smush-faced friend right here. Got that same smush face. Do you see it right here? My mouse is going around it. If you just go back to the very beginning of this video, then you would have seen that we had a smush-faced little monkey little dude running across the rover, right? You would have seen that. Actually, I can bring them up together here. No, I can't. I closed it out. But you do see it, right? Right here. And what does it look like? It looks like our little monkey friend, doesn't it? And I'm not saying it's the same, you know, little being or whatever, but I'm just telling you that there is a species or a form of life um, on Mars that I believe it's a form of life. For all I know, it could be a form of a plant. I mean, I don't know, but you can very clearly see our little friend almost looks like a little monkey, a little smush face on two legs. All right. And we got another example of a very similar looking thing right here. Also, if you look here, just follow my mouse, you'll notice that I'm going to circle around two additional little, whatever you want to call them, but it's, again, some little form of, I'm just going to refer to it as the geometric growth that's wrapped its hands, or it's almost like a zip tie, but wrapped around the rover. And there's one on each side. Very interestingly enough, it's always geometric in nature. I don't have any idea why, but if you actually just look at this photo overall, there's a lot going on. And here's a great example of that geometric growth that I'm referring to, and how it's literally grown all the way down like this. It's kind of funny. Look, you can even see an eye here and an eye here. It's really funny how how NASA can put all this energy into trying to hide stuff from us, but really suck at it. I mean, look at this Photoshop fail. Look at this. Why do you think it's all blurred out? Because there's something they want to hide. And it's literally all blurred out, even off to the side. Now, whether it's growth, whether it's, a form of life or form of species that is slow growing, listen, I don't know, but there's definitely something going on. NASA keeps trying to hide from us, from the people. And here's the last example here I'll show you, right? You're looking at. This is what's that look like there? Oh, look, just like the geometric growth that's hanging off the side and the front, right? And on top of that, if you actually look right here, you see a little smush face fella right here. It's kind of blurred out though. So if you don't have this on your TV, you may not be able to see it, but you can actually see another smushed faced fella right here. So yes, that's what I have for you guys today. Outright, just outright Photoshop fails and trying to cover what's in these photos. Um, NASA, I think the world can handle it. I mean, we're seeing, UFOs flying over, like basically just blatantly flying over, not even trying to hide. Okay. We know that there's aliens, on this planet, whether they're of this earth or not. I think we can handle it. I think we can handle that there's possible life on Mars. I'd really think, and if you actually even look right here, you can actually see the Photoshop going on here too. It's really disgusting. But anyway, I digress. Um, Thanks for coming through, man. We have been our Mars Anomaly channel has been growing like crazy. Um, Actually, it's been kind of interesting how there's been a lot of interest in our Mars Anomaly content. So I'm very glad for that. Y'all come on through and take note, all right, of these Photoshop fails that NASA is doing. And take note of what I showed you today. Um, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Man, I've gotten so decent at looking at these GigaPans and Photoshop, being able to pick out a lot of these like Photoshop jobs and Photoshop fails. But it's like once you grab on to the pattern, oh my gosh, it's like a whole new world opens up. But hey, let me show you one more thing before we get up out of here. If you have your TV on, or if you're on a device where you can kind of zoom in, check out where my mouse is circling over right now. Looks like a set of blue eyes looking up at the camera there. Look at that. That is definitely, it looks like something there. I don't know if it's like a reflection from the eyeball, but it's very interesting. But I digress. I'm out of here, you guys. Until next time, I appreciate everybody for swooping on through. Y'all make sure y'all sub to the channel, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye, guys.